The story begins thousands of years ago, before even the pyramids of Egypt were built. At that time, there was a country named Kandak, where the people lived under the command of a king. For centuries, they had wanted to make Kandak the most powerful country in the world. But everything changed when a king named Akhenaten ascended the throne. He oppressed the people with his army and was known as the cruelest king of his time. In reality, Akhenaten was a practitioner of black magic, and his goal was to create a crown called the Crown of Sabak, which would make him invincible. However, to create this crown, he needed a stone called Eternium. This was a unique stone with magical powers, found only in the country of Kandak. He forced his own people into slavery to mine for Eternium. Whenever a slave found a piece of the stone, they would immediately run to hand it over to a watchman and receive a reward. But sometimes, other slaves would attack them on the way to snatch the stone. We see a slave named Zhao, whose stone everyone was trying to steal. Just then, a boy named Harut came to save him and brought him safely to a soldier. But when Zhao asked for his reward, the soldier suddenly stabbed him in the stomach and threw him off the mountain. Seeing such a horrific scene, Harut was terrified, and his father, Teth Adam, pulled him away. Harut had always wanted to free his people from this life of slavery, but all those who had rebelled were now buried in the graveyard. Nevertheless, Harut decided to unite the entire country and defeat the cruel king. He suddenly ran and snatched the Eternium stone from the soldier's hand, and by making a symbol of freedom with his hands, he ignited a spark of freedom in the hearts of the people. King Akhenaten knew well that this small spark could soon turn into a massive fire, so he ordered Harut to be executed in front of all the people. Even in his final moments, Harut continued to chant slogans of freedom. But just as his head was about to be severed from his body, a miracle occurred. The magical guardians of the earth had chosen him to bring peace to the world. So they blessed Harut with the powers of the ancient gods, making him incredibly powerful. But by then, Akhenaten had already created the Crown of Sabak. When the empowered Harut reached Akhenaten's palace to challenge him, Akhenaten unleashed the demonic powers of his crown. A fierce battle ensued between them, in which the entire palace was destroyed. In the end, Harut was victorious, but he hid the Crown of Sabak so that it would not fall into human hands. After that day, no one saw Harut again. But according to an ancient legend, he would return when the people of Kandak were in great distress to once again bring them freedom. We then see the modern-day country of Kandak, which has been occupied by foreign mercenaries called Intergang. To even leave the city, people had to show their papers to the guards stationed at the border. One day, as a van's trunk was about to be searched, a 14-year-old boy named Eamon tried to sneak across the border on his skateboard, but a guard quickly caught him. The guard told him to get in line to be searched, but Eamon insulted him. Then, the guard told a man named Karim to drive his van through. Afterwards, he checked his wrist device, and a picture of a fugitive named Adriana appeared. We then see that Adriana was hidden in this van, and Eamon was walking alongside the van's window. Eamon was actually Adriana's son, and he wanted to go with his mother on a mission to find the Crown of Sabak. But his mother somehow convinced him to go back home. After that, they followed a map to a mountain where the Crown of Sabak was said to be hidden. Adriana then looked at a pendant her grandmother had given her, which was also made of Eternium. Her companion, Samir, said that if she sold it on the black market, she would get a very good price. But it was a family heirloom that had been in their family for centuries, and so it was very important to Adriana. Then the driver, Karim, who was Adriana's brother, started complaining that she got the pendant while he inherited an old coat and baldness. After reaching the mountain, the three of them began their search for the crown, while Karim stayed in the car to keep watch. As soon as they entered the mountain, Ishmael suddenly disappeared, and Samir went to look for him. Outside, Karim was listening to music in his car when he suddenly saw Samir falling from the mountain. Karim immediately ran to help him, but suddenly, several soldiers surrounded him. Inside the mountain, Ishmael suddenly appeared in front of Adriana, which scared her. Adriana asked him where Samir was, and Ishmael replied that Samir had gone to get some fresh air. Soon, they both reached the tomb of Teth Adam. The Crown of Sabak was a short distance away, and Adriana jumped between two large rocks to retrieve it. But at that moment, the soldiers who had caught Karim came inside and arrested Ishmael. Ishmael then shouted for Adriana to run, but the soldiers' leader pointed a gun at Karim's head. To save her brother's life, Adriana decided to surrender. She bowed her head at the tomb of Teth Adam and recited a special incantation, after which a bright light suddenly flashed and a mysterious man appeared before them. He picked up a soldier and electrocuted him with his power. At that moment, the other soldiers opened fire on him, and Adriana took advantage of the opportunity to escape with Karim. Meanwhile, the soldiers' bullets couldn't harm the mysterious warrior. Then, this warrior used his hyperspeed to take out the soldiers. During this, a large rock was about to fall on Adriana, who was fleeing with the crown, but the warrior saved her at the last moment. This warrior was Black Adam, who had been imprisoned in this mountain for thousands of years. Now, after such a long time, when he emerged from the mountain, he was confronted by new enemies. They came to attack him with helicopters, but Black Adam never imagined that humans would have advanced so far. Meanwhile, Adriana and Karim got back to the van and quickly drove away. Adriana told him that she had completed her mission by obtaining the crown. A short distance away, a fierce battle had begun. Black Adam had crashed two helicopters into each other, causing a massive fire. In a few moments, hundreds of vehicles full of soldiers arrived, and Black Adam, standing in one spot, eliminated them with his powers. Finally, after destroying everything around him, Black Adam landed in front of Adriana's van, but a final soldier threw a rocket at him. However, even such a powerful explosion couldn't harm Black Adam. Finally, Black Adam killed that last soldier and, slightly injured, walked away. Karim breathed a sigh of relief, thinking the wrestler was gone. But at that moment, Black Adam, due to his injuries, fell back to the ground. Meanwhile, Ishmael was still in the mountain, and he received a call from a member of his mercenary group. It turns out Ishmael was an undercover agent who had come to obtain the crown through Adriana, but his mission had failed this time. Now he had to follow Adriana and snatch the crown from her. Elsewhere, when a man named Hawkman heard the news of Black Adam's reawakening, he immediately ordered his team of superheroes into action. This team included a girl named Cyclone, who had the power to control the wind. The second was a boy named Atom Smasher, who had the power to change his body's size. Additionally, the team's most powerful member was Dr. Fate. Now the three of them arrived at Hawkman's mansion in the USA at his call. They soon learned they were going on an international mission. Hawkman wanted them to go to Kondak, capture a superhuman named Black Adam, and bring him in. Their team's name was the Justice Society, and they soon set off in a super ship. Hawkman explained that this ship could not be destroyed because its exterior was made of a special metal. A few hours later, when Black Adam opened his eyes, he was in Amon's room. He got up from the bed and healed all his injuries with his power. He then learned that 5,000 years had passed since he was imprisoned in the mountain. In the living room, Adriana was researching the precious crown. She noticed some words inscribed on the inside of the crown. It read, "Life is the only way to death." Meanwhile, in his room, Amon told Black Adam that since he had disappeared, other countries had taken over Kondak and enslaved its people. But the people of Kondak had built a statue of Black Adam because they were sure that one day he would return to save them. Hearing this, Black Adam said, "I am no hero," and suddenly broke through the wall and left. Black Adam set out to explore a new world, while Amon followed him through a secret passage in his room so his mother wouldn't find out. Meanwhile, the Justice Society ship was about to arrive in Kondak, and Dr. Fate explained the plan to the team. He said that if they wanted to capture Black Adam, they had to make him say the word Shazam. Doing so would strip Black Adam of all his powers, and there would be no trouble in capturing him. Meanwhile, Amon, while running, stole a soldier's radio and sent a message to the other soldiers that the champion of Kondak had returned. The soldiers then chased him, but he escaped on his skateboard and tried to send a signal to Black Adam by making a triangle with his hands. But in a few moments, the soldiers arrested Amon, and his mother came to save him. Adriana managed to reason with the guards and get Aemon released, but soon the soldiers realized that she was also a wanted criminal. She immediately tried to flee, and just then, Black Adam arrived to save them from the soldiers. Suddenly, a guard hit him on the head with an iron rod, so Black Adam picked him up and threw him far into the air. Soon the soldiers opened fire on him, and the champion finished them off one by one. As he flew into the air with two enemies, the Justice Society's ship appeared before him. Black Adam dropped the soldiers from the sky, and Hawkman jumped from the ship to save their lives. In midair, he activated his Hawkman suit and landed safely on the ground with both soldiers. But this act of bravery was futile, as Black Adam soon struck the soldiers with lightning, killing them. In a few moments, Dr. Fate arrived and told Black Adam to surrender. But Black Adam said that before he died, he was a slave, and now he was reborn as a god, and he would not bow before anyone. Dr. Fate attacked him and, to distract Adam, created an illusion of the 5,000-year-old city with his mind. Black Adam was stunned to see his city, and at that moment, Hawkman seized the opportunity and struck him hard. Now in anger, Black Adam gave Hawkman a powerful electric shock, and then took him into the air to beat him. Then Dr. Fate intervened and threw Black Adam back to the ground. Now it was Cyclone and Atom Smasher's turn to attack. Cyclone created a powerful whirlwind with her powers, and through it, attacked Black Adam with iron rods, trying to imprison him. But Black Adam broke free from this attack as well, so Dr. Fate tried to arrest him again. At the same time, Cyclone and Hawkman launched a final attack on Black Adam. This enraged Black Adam, and he unleashed all his powers at once, defeating all his enemies in one go. Black Adam thought he had won, but then Atom Smasher, with his massive fist, pummeled Black Adam. But as Black Adam stood up, he knocked out Atom Smasher with a single punch. After this, the local people cheered for Black Adam's victory, and Black Adam left. Dr. Fate told his team that no one should follow Black Adam because he knew that none of them had the power to defeat him. Dr. Fate then went to Adriana with his team because he had seen in a vision that the crown of Sabak was with her. But Adriana said she didn't have any crown. Meanwhile, we see that during the battle between the Justice Society and Black Adam, Aemon had put the crown in his bag and fled. Now Adriana decided to go to the palace with the team of heroes where Black Adam lived. According to ancient legend, 5,000 years ago, Black Adam went to this palace to free his people. But when the members of the Justice Society said that he didn't go there to bring freedom, but to seek revenge, Black Adam's terrible anger caused his powers to go out of control, and the entire palace was destroyed. After that, the magical guardians of the earth said he was not worthy of using his powers. So he was imprisoned in a tomb, and finally, 5,000 years later, Adriana freed him again. Now, Adriana reached Black Adam with a team of heroes, and Black Adam agreed to listen to them. Meanwhile, when Ammon got home, he was surprised to see that Ishmael was alive. Suddenly, Ishmael pointed a gun at him, and it was revealed that Ishmael was a traitor who had come to steal the crown. He threatened to kill Ammon and Karim and demanded they hand over the bag. But Karim couldn't let such a powerful crown fall into the hands of a dangerous man like Ishmael. So Karim attacked him and told Aemon to run with the crown. In the scuffle, Karim was shot in the stomach, but by then, Ammon had escaped through the secret passage in his room. During the meeting between Black Adam and the Justice Society, Aemon called Adriana and told her everything that had happened. Aemon said that Intergang was relentlessly pursuing him and that he was currently hiding in a building. Adriana then pleaded with Black Adam to save her son. Black Adam immediately set out to rescue him and found that the mercenaries had captured Aemon. When Black Adam told them to release Aemon, a mercenary threw him from the air, but Black Adam saved him at the last moment. He then went to kill the remaining culprits, but during this, Ishmael held a gun to Aemon's head and took him away. Ishmael opened his bag and asked where the crown was, but Ammon refused to speak, so Ishmael took him hostage, and when Black Adam found out, he was furious. Ishmael had hidden Aemon in the trunk of a flying motorcycle. From there, Aemon called his mother and told her that Ishmael had captured him. Hearing this, the Justice Society also set out on a mission to save Aemon. Black Adam was searching the motorcycles one by one, eliminating enemies along the way. Hawkman stopped him from taking lives like this, but the champion was not one to take orders from anyone. Finally, Black Adam searched the last motorcycle and said that Amun was not in it either. In reality, Ishmael had sent his men on the motorcycles to distract Black Adam, while he himself escaped with Amun in a truck. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate arrived at Adriana's house because he knew the crown was hidden there. He found Kareem lying on the floor, wounded by a gunshot. Kareem's condition was critical, and he thought his end was near. But Dr. Fate told him to calm down. He could see the future and said that Kareem's death would not be today. He would be killed by an electric shock. Hearing this, Kareem breathed a sigh of relief, but now he would probably have to quit his job as an electrician. Kareem's treatment began on the ship, and Adriana was surprised to see Dr. Fate in her house. Fate assured her that he and his team would find Amun. In a few moments, Black Adam and Hawkman also arrived, bringing 2 intergang goons with them so that Dr. Fate could read their minds. But then Black Adam flew them thousands of feet into the air and threatened to drop them to get answers. After getting his answers, Black Adam dropped them anyway. Poor Hawkman managed to save them from falling. Still, Black Adam wanted to kill them. He came to finish them off in a rage, but Hawkman attacked him. The entire house was destroyed in the fierce fight, and suddenly, while trying to punch Hawkman, the crown fell into Black Adam's hands. Finally, with the crown, they all decided to work together to save Amun using its powers. They then set out on their mission, but Dr. Fate had a vision of the future that Hawkman would die in the coming battle. He revealed this, saying they would soon have to say goodbye to each other. In a short time, they reached the Al Hadid Dia Mountains and made a plan to save all their team members. When the time came, Black Adam launched a massive attack in which hundreds of soldiers were killed. He then confronted Ishmael but couldn't attack him because Ishmael was inside a protective shield made of Eternium. Soon the rest of the team arrived, and when Adriana saw a gun to her son's head, she decided to save his life by handing the crown over to Ishmael. Finally, after obtaining the crown of Sabak, Ishmael revealed that he was the last descendant of King Akhton. Now, with this crown, he was ready to become the next king of Kahndaq. He then recited the incantation written on the crown of Sabak, closed his protective shield, and fired at Amun. But at the last moment, Black Adam, using his super speed, saved Amun before the bullet could hit him. During this, Black Adam became so enraged that his powers went out of control again, and the entire mountain was destroyed. Fortunately, thanks to the Justice Society team's protective shield, Adriana and Amun's lives were saved. But now Amun had to be sent for treatment immediately. Meanwhile, Atom Smasher found the crown on Ishmael's burnt body and brought it to the ship. Hawkman went after Black Adam and saw him looking at the statue of his son, Harut, in front of the palace. In reality, the magical guardians of the earth had chosen Harut to receive divine powers so he could bring freedom to the people. But as Harut kept winning, King Akhton captured his parents. When they were about to execute Harut's father, Harut saved his life at the last moment by transferring all his powers to his father. But he didn't know that this would be the last day of his life, because after giving his powers to his father, an archer from a distance shot an arrow straight into Harut's heart, killing him instantly. Seeing this, his father, Teth Adam, knew his son would not be happy with his recurring loss of control. So Black Adam decided to give up all his powers. He entrusted this task to Hawkman and made him promise that after giving up his powers, he would never be able to say the word Shazam again. The reason was that without saying Shazam, Black Adam could never regain his powers. Hawkman then took him to an underwater lab and handed him over to a scientist named Amelia Harcourt and her team. Amelia promised Hawkman that from that day on, not a single word would come out of Black Adam's mouth. In fact, she had many other dangerous people imprisoned there. But then we see that in the ship's morgue, some strange movement was happening in Ishmael's corpse. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate kept having the same vision over and over. He couldn't understand why it was happening when their mission was complete. Dr. Fate was afraid that if Hawkman died, the Justice Society would soon be finished. Over there, after killing Ishmael, Adriana couldn't believe they had defeated him so easily. Then she remembered the incantation written on the crown, which meant, "Life is the only way to death." But before dying, Ishmael had recited the incantation in reverse, meaning he had said, "Death is the only way to life." Adriana immediately turned the crown upside down and realized that reciting the reverse incantation with the crown inverted would also make it come true. That's why Ishmael had recited this incantation before dying. Adriana then understood that Ishmael's plan was for Black Adam to kill him. This way, he would be resurrected after death and seize the throne of Kahndaq. As soon as Adriana solved this puzzle, the crown suddenly disappeared, and Sabak rose from the depths of the sea. At that moment, Hawkman launched a missile attack on him, but Sabak destroyed their ship. Finally, the Justice Society decided to stop Sabak from taking the throne, because if that happened, no one would be able to defeat him. Hawkman, with the help of his comrades, injured Sabak, and when Sabak attacked him, he fell unconscious. Then Dr. Fate realized his prophecy was about to come true, so he created a protective shield around the palace and forbade his team from entering. Dr. Fate was ready to risk his own life to save his dear friend Hawkman. For the first time, he couldn't predict what would happen in the future. Hawkman couldn't just let his friend go, so he tried to break the shield but failed. Meanwhile, Dr. Fate left his team outside and went to stop Sabak. He hoped that Black Adam would come to help him defeat Sabak. During this fight, Dr. Fate sent a signal to Black Adam that only he could defeat Sabak. Fate then freed Black Adam from his chains with his powers. The guards there rushed to stop Black Adam, but even after losing his powers, Black Adam defeated the guards and jumped into the sea. At that moment, Sabak delivered the final blow to Dr. Fate, after which the palace's protective shield broke. Hawkman realized his friend was taking his last breaths and rushed to save him, but when he reached Fate, he was already dead. Finally, Sabak sat on the throne and a massive fire erupted, after which he became the king of Kahndaq. As he did so, his demonic army emerged from the underworld and began attacking the common people. Adriana was ready to face them, but then her brother arrived in the van. Kareem had no fear of these zombies, because Dr. Fate had said he would die from an electric shock. At Adriana's urging, Eamon asked the common people for help in fighting the zombies. Meanwhile, Black Adam emerged from the sea, shouted Shazam, and his powers instantly returned. Over there, Sabak, to establish his rule, toppled Harut's statue, which was about to fall right on top of Amun, but Black Adam arrived at the last moment and saved him. After that, he went straight to confront Sabak, saving Hawkman's life. At that moment, a fierce battle began between Black Adam and Sabak. In a few moments, Sabak started to overpower him, so Hawkman decided to intervene. He attacked Sabak, but was injured himself, just as Dr. Fate had seen in the future. But the truth was that this was not Hawkman's real body. In reality, Hawkman had used Fate's helmet to create multiple copies of his body, and they attacked Sabak together. Meanwhile, Black Adam used his immense strength to tear Sabak's body in two. And at that moment, all the zombies from the underworld disappeared. The common people roared with victory and celebrated. Despite their mutual animosity, Black Adam and Hawkman extended a hand of friendship. In the end, Dr. Fate's helmet, after completing its task, disappeared on its own. The Justice Society then abandoned its mission to capture Black Adam because he had now saved everyone. Finally, the team returned to the USA, and Black Adam sat on the throne of Kahndaq. The people there asked him to become their king and rule the country. But Black Adam, in a single moment, shattered the throne, putting an end to the matter. Black Adam said that he did not want to be the king of Kahndaq, but to serve as their protector, and from now on, Kahndaq would be free forever.
If you want interesting movie recaps, like, share, and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.